All right, so this is your homework number 7, which is an excellent resource for some of the kinds of questions. I've given you 3 or 4 resources for your test, and each of them have, like, I don't know, anywhere from 5 to 12 question types that are reviewed that you really need to go over. So if you can do like homework number 7, practice test 1, homework number 8, and so on and so forth, I think that you will be very well prepared for your test. So here are the answers. I'm just going to go through them, make a quick video of it with little explanations here and there. First question says, a survey asked 72 randomly chosen students if they're going to attend the school play. What's the sample, or survey asked? The sample is those 72 randomly chosen students. It's not all of the students in the school. That would be the population. Or let's say it said there are 72 randomly chosen students out of 250 students, then the 250 students would be the population. The sample is the 72 randomly chosen students. Okay, number 2, classify as nominal, ordinal, interval, or ratio. Flavors are just nominal. It's just a name. Nominal means name. Amount of money in a savings account, that's ratio. You do have an absolute zero in that account. Letter grades on an English essay, that's ordinal because you're ranking or ordering them A, B, C, D, E, F, so on. Religions is nominal. It's just a classification for a religion. Commuting times to work, that's ratio. Time generally is that way. There's an absolute zero. And then age. Age is a form of time. Okay? All right, what do we got next here? For the following frequency distrigram of quiz scores, how many individuals took the quiz? Well, that's where you have to add up the frequencies. 87753. The guys working outside are building steps right outside the room where the dogs are. That's why they're barking so much. I apologize. Now, I just mentioned add up the frequencies. So what we have here is 87753. Here's your frequencies. Add them up, you get 30. Okay, one sample has a mean, I don't know why they use M, it should be X bar, but they have a mean of 8, and another sample has a mean of 15. The two samples are combined into a single set of scores. What's the mean for the combined first set, or for the combined set, if the first sample has 5 scores and the second has 6? So what you have to do is realize the mean is the average of the scores. Some are above, some are below. If you, for example, if you took 3 tests in class, and you have 100 average, then you scored 300 total points because you need 300 divided by 100 to get it. So if you do 3 tests times 100 points each, you get your 300. If you have a 90 average, then you score 270 points because 3 times 90. So likewise here, if we have an average of 8 and 5 people did it, then there's 40 points, if you will. And then average of 15 and 6 people did it, you have 90 points. So altogether with these 11 people, you have 130 total points. And if I divide that by the 11, I come out with 11.8 is the average. Okay. Next one up was to find the mean, median, mode, and for the set of scores in the frequency distribution program. Well, look, there's 1 5, there's 3 6s, there's 4 7s, 2 8s, and so on. So that's the frequency here. So I do the 5 times 1, the 6 times 3, because there are 3 6s, the 4 7s, so on. I multiply them all out. I add them up. That gives me 106 total points, if you will. And I divide by the 14 scores. So the mean is 7.57. That's the average score. It kind of makes sense. It's near 7.57 is near the middle of this. All right, the mode and median are 7. The mode is 7 because the mode is the most frequent or most popular. And the tallest bar is always going to be your mode. There's 4 7s. That's more than anything else. There are 3 6s and 3 10s, but there are 4 7s. And the median is the score in the middle. And again, if you do those 14 scores and you look for the 7th score, you'll find that the 7th, 8th score, you'll find it's in the interval with 7. Okay, next one. Recently, Weatherman says you got this box plot for high temperatures in Stanford and whatever that says, Castroville. Which city has a smaller range? The range is from highest to lowest. They say to exclude any outliers, so we're not worried about that. So the smaller range is the bottom graph because it's going from 36 to 22, which is a total range of 14, whereas the top one is going to have a range of 18, so it's Castroville. Very important to remember about box plots. Extremely important, okay? When you do a box plot, the thing that makes it powerful is that you do 25% in each segment of the box plot. So there's 25% from the minimum to the first quartile, which is marked right here. This is your first quartile. In this case, it's like whatever, 158. Then there's 25% from the first quartile to the median. This mark in the middle is the median. 25% go from the median to the third quartile, and 25% from the third quartile to the max. Now, this also makes perfect sense for the name quartile. Quartile is quarters, it's fourths, okay? Likewise, here is 25%, 25% underneath first quartile to median, median to third quartile, 25, and 25 above the third quartile. So which is true and why? I didn't get too much into the whys, but which are true? The girls are taller on average. That's false. the guys graph goes higher. The boys are taller on average. That's true. The girls show less spread in height. That's true because if you do the range and if you pay attention to the interquartile range, both are smaller than the boys have. So the girls show less spread in height. So that the girls are less is true. The boys show less spread. Well, if the girls already had it, the boys can't. That would be false. Shortest person is a girl. That's true. All the way down here. The tallest person is a boy. Sure, up here. Both data sets are skewed to the left. That is true. They have this tail of scores, this longer extrapolated group of scores. Half the boys are over 172 centimeters tall. Assuming this is 172, half is 25% and 25%. So yeah, 50% are above it. And half the girls are under 165. 165. This is really like 166 or 7. But if we round it off to 165 and look there, yeah, we got about half the scores underneath that as well. Okay, Millersburg Chamber of Commerce. How many companies have at least 20 employees but less than 90? Well, I drew this line here because that's 90, so you have to be less than that. And if you have at least 20, well, all of these stems and leaves are at least 20 because there are no 10s or zeros underneath there. So how many scores? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 total scores. Okay, next. Time spent playing soccer on a weekend. There is a bar graph right there. Again, 25%, 25%, and so on and so forth. How many play for 70 or more? Well, 70 is the low end of, this is where quartile 1 is on your box plot. So if I play 70 or more, that's 25, 25, and 25. That's a total of 75%. Okay, so, oh boy. Oh, I messed this up. I apologize. I'll tell you what I did wrong, why it was done wrong, what my assumptive mistake was, and then I don't have the right answers for you. What I did wrong, remember before I said it's so important to make sure your stem and leaf plot is in order? I never checked to see if this was in order. So these are wrong. Never checked to see if it is in order. I apologize. That's number 10. I'm going to have to note that when on another part of Moodle. So I do apologize. And that's exactly why you need to put these scores in order. Okay. That was drilled into my head when I learned stem and leaf plots. I can't believe that some of these places don't do that. So please disregard my answers to 10. They should have been in order, and it very much affects it. For this case, it says here, what's the total frequency? Well, I've got to add them all up. That's 30. The frequencies are 3, 2, 6, 7, 4, 4, 2, 1, 1. Which interval do most of the people weigh? That would be in this interval right here, which is 138 and a half. Which is really the interval between 130, what do we got here? They're going up by 2s. So between 138 and 140. 138 and 139, I guess. So 137 and a half, whatever it is. This interval right here, the tall one. How many more people weigh more than 142 and a half? Over here, 2, 1, and 1. That would be 4 people weigh more than 142 and a half. I don't know why I put that down, but there are 4 people who do. Okay, next up. Oh, well, the video is getting long, so I'm going to pick up with another video after this.